This episode contains discussions of domestic violence, sibling rivalry, and child abuse. These topics may be distressing for some listeners, and therefore, discretion is advised. Please take care of your well-being. Feel free to pause, skip, or return when you're ready.
I got called names. I was called a murderer for pushing back somebody who had his hands locked around my throat.
You are now listening to the personal story segment of What Is Your Story podcast. What Is Your Story is a cultural project by Noisy Podcast that is dedicated to telling African stories. Our goal is to create a space where anyone can come and share the truth. Do you have a story to share?
My name is Chidera, and this is my story. A core memory for me growing up was having people, neighbors, relatives, refer to my sibling and I as cat and dog because we would almost always fight. And to the adults, it was to the adults, the things we fought over were inconsequential, but they were not to me. It was always things like my sibling S wanting to do chores that were not his turn. Let me give you an example. My father had a habit of splitting chores between the two of us. So this person would fetch water today, the other person would wash plates. When it was my turn to fetch water, because fetch water you do it just 2 times a day, but washing plates you do it 3 times a day. So my sibling had a habit of rushing to fetch water when he was supposed to be in the kitchen, doing kitchen stuff. So that was one of many instances. And then I grew up being labeled very lazy because I didn't like chores. I would do them, but you would never see me volunteering or you never see me get out of my way to take them up. I was called lazy, was called very scattered, and the usual stuff. How are you going to do this how are you going to handle this if you were to be married? But then this sibling of mine would never do anything. And on the few occasions when they would, let's say once in a quarter, when they'd remember that there's a broom and there's a dustpan and the house needs sweeping or mopping, and this is after my parents have whined and cajoled and begged him. The one time he ever cleans up, my mother had a habit of telling everybody. I remember, he cleaned up for the first time that year in December. She went back for Christmas and she kept telling everybody, he's not lazy, he just likes doing things at his own pace, in his own time. And then the fact that I've been a straight A student through most of my life. I topped the class from primary till university. In primary school, I came second. One time I dropped from second to third. In primary school, for most of primary school, I came second. But one time I dropped from second to third, and that was in primary 4, first term. My father gave me hell. He gave me hell because to him I was a disappointment. Why would I drop from second to third? But then being there and seeing a sibling who was at best the average student in class, and then when this progressed on to secondary school where he was like one of the last 10 in a class of over 100 and I was topping the class, I was treated differently. Okay, I topped the class, but I got 1 C in French. My father focused on the C that I got. But then I have a sibling who had to repeat classes and he didn't get the head that I did. So this kind of colored my perception of where my place was. Another core memory, because all of this, how do I put it? All of this inequality kind of bred resentment in me. So subconsciously I knew. But the things that have solidified my decision to prioritize myself there were several incidents. There was one in August of 2014. My brother attempted to choke me for taking a hanger from his room. I think there was a handkerchief on the hanger. So I took it, handkerchief fell. So he held me, tried to choke me. I pushed him. I pushed back. He got hurt. He had to get stitches. For that. Oh, the whole family descended on me. I got called names. I was called a murderer for pushing back somebody who had his hands locked around my throat. So that was August 2014. Then in December of 2015, we always fought. It wasn't really physical because my mom would always jump in the middle and make excuses for him and say things like, oh, he's young. He doesn't know better. You're the elder one. You should be the one giving an example. So December 24th, 2015, I told my mother that I was sick of doing all the chores myself, the cooking, the cleaning, the sweeping, the mopping. I was just done. That he should pick up the slack. He lived in the house as I did. We should be splitting chores equally. So somehow she listened to me and she made him pick up a mop. All I remember was that I tried passing through the area he was mopping. The long and short of this was that he gave me a black eye. It was that day that I realized that what I had read in books, in books they would tell you that the area around the eye turns purple. In my case, it turned green. It turned green. I wish I took pictures of myself that day, but it didn't occur to me then. It turned green. Gave me a black eye. My mom came to rescue me from him, and he knocked out 2 of her teeth too. For what's it called? Just to be clear, I'm the older sibling. My mom ended that day by threatening to. She ended the day by threatening to commit suicide. Me, I was angry. I didn't want to talk to anybody. She called a friend who came to mediate, and the woman told me that it was that I was responsible for all of this. That I should kneel down and apologize to my mother. So that was 2015. After that, I avoided home. I got into university. And if you may be wondering where my father was through all of this, he died. He died when we were teenagers. And a part of what I don't know, I don't want to make excuses for the young man because he's an adult now. A part of what I think may have informed his stupidity is the example. My father was very abusive, very physically abusive. It got so bad that in primary school, my school headmistress would call him and ask what an 8-year-old did to come to school with welts. Yeah, I almost always showed up to school with welts because he whipped me. It wasn't flogging. He didn't use the regular cane. It was always DVD cables. Constant tool he used was DVD cables. He had several of them, over 20 of them. DVD cables. You could get whipped for going down to visit the neighbor. You could get whipped for staying out too late after block rosary. You could get whipped for anything. So I was whipped a lot as a preteen, and I received the bulk of the whipping. Did my brother do? Nah, my brother didn't. I mean, he's a man, so my father cut him some slack. And then once my father physically assaulted my mother, yeah, that happened in my presence. So I can't say he had the best of examples. Still, I think that is no excuse. So all of this kept on. I mean, I just knew I wasn't happy with my family. So in 2020, during the lockdown, everybody went home. I refused to go home. I spent lockdown without my family because I thought to myself, even if I am going to die, I want to die being alone, doing it on my own terms. I don't want to be surrounded by people who will make me angry and make me unhappy.
Hi there. Just a reminder, Noisy Podcast is on a mission to publish and promote authentic African stories. If you've got a story to tell, we'd love for you to join us. Simply click the link in the description to sign up. You can also share your stories anonymously and submit through our Google form, where it will be brought to life through narration. Plus, we do group stories, a collective story concept that will feature a small group of people with a similar story. And don't forget to stay with us on social media. On Instagram, we are at whatisyourstory_podcast. And on Twitter, we're at WIYS_podcast. Follow us to stay up to date with all of our activities and upcoming episodes.
So I stayed on wherever I was, had to deal with hunger, but I was fine. I mean, it's lockdown. We all survived it eventually. So all of my life from after I left home for university has been avoiding home, just avoided any plans. And then the fact that we went to the same university, he was very entitled to my labor in the kitchen. I would ask him to come take food because we lived in the same hostel. I would ask him to come take food. He'd come along with his pot and toss it to the side and then expect me to bend down and pick it from where I'm like, Ross, hand me the pot now. And he'd be like, he'd be on his phone and he'd be like, hey, it's over there. So after a few instances, I just knew this wasn't what I wanted. But then I kept making excuses. I kept listening to my mother who kept saying, he doesn't know better. Until sometime last year, and case in point, he's in his 20s, he's in his mid-20s at the moment. So no more excuses. This is a grown adult we're talking about. He physically assaulted me for telling him that fruit salad was breakfast. Yeah, I told him fruit salad was breakfast. I told him if you want to eat something heavy, you have to wait till the afternoon. At the time, he was unemployed, fresh out of school, so he was more or less eating us out of home, and my mom and I were the ones paying the bills. And it wasn't pretty. I mean, it's okay if this is somebody who you have a bigger appetite, that's fine, but make yourself useful somehow. He never did. Chores, no. It got so bad, I had to hire a cleaner because I work 2 jobs. I'm busy most of the time. So on the 26th of November 2024, my brother physically assaulted me for telling him that fruit salad was breakfast. Because I said, you're not a laborer, you're not doing any physical labor. Why would you want to eat something heavy in the morning? And fruit salad is fine. In the afternoon, you can have curry or something else. Then he blocked the door, put his hands on me, started warning me he would deal with me, this. He hit me. So I left the house with a bloody finger, packed my belongings, and disappeared. And something that I'll never forget was that in the following following days, I went to a hotel, paid for a hotel. In the following days, my mother kept sending me WhatsApp messages saying things like stubborn women never make it in life, that they never succeed in life. A lot of bullshit. And then there's this cousin. I mean, he's very much older. He's like a third cousin, so that explains the age difference. Who's a priest. He when I met up with him a few weeks later, when I eventually agreed to go see him, he did the same thing they've been doing for this young man since he was 4 years old. That he's a child. He doesn't know better. You have to understand that he's that people the men in the family have a hot temper. It went on and on and on and on, and it was doing this, and then another of my uncles came with his usual nonsense about how it's my duty to do chores in the house because I have a vagina. Yes, I like to be that specific because I have a vagina. It was then I knew these people don't give a flying fuck about me, and they're not pretending to. So ever since then, because I'm still looking for an apartment, because I can't move into just anywhere. I had to, because I work from home, I had to install an inverter system for the house. So that's a lot of money down the drain, over $1 million down the drain. I can't move to a regular flat. I have to find maybe a 1-bedroom or a self-con with a roof where I can set up the inverter system and work without worrying about electricity cuts. So that has hampered my moving out, because I haven't seen apartments that fit this bill, or that are too expensive for me to afford on my income. So it's within the time when I returned to the house, I didn't talk to anybody. I just knew you people don't care about me. I'm only as useful to you as the money that I gave. I mean, recently I was at an event and my mother called me to tell me, you promised to send me money. Now, mind you, I never promised I would send her money. She asked me for money. I said, I don't have anything now. Maybe when I return from my trip. So what I did for my sanity that day was end the call, and I entered the call and blocked her. I've worked with powerful people, and I have one rule. If you're going to I'm an overthinker. If you're going to make me stress mentally, I will block access to you until I'm ready to speak, so that I don't crash out and say things that I can't take back. So I felt very unprotected. So my vision 2025 going on so far has been owning my selfishness. Most of this year, I made sure that I spent a huge chunk of my money on the things that are for me, and not on household expenses. Like now, when there's time to pay for utilities, back in the day, I would pay for everything. Now I don't. I split it in 3. And then when my mom complains, I tell her, there are 3 adults living in this house using these things. The 3 of us should contribute toward paying for utilities. And I have successfully created a system where I don't eat with the rest of the family. I take care of my breakfast and my dinner. My lunch is usually mild because I don't eat much. So that's it. I've just prioritized spending my money on myself unapologetically. Because at the end of the day, nobody gives a flying fuck about you. I mean, the household, what's it called? The fixing my mother wants me to do around the compound. I have refused to do it because I know very well that when push comes to shove, it's going to remind me that I am a woman, that my brother is the only one to claim to whatever my father left when he died. So why should I be renovating his property? He should be the one to do it, and all of that. I mean, they complain. Now their complaint is that I don't talk to anybody. I don't talk to you because I don't have anything to say to you. I can't forgive you for what you've done, especially when you've shown a pattern of complete disregard for me, a total lack of respect for me as a human, for me as a child, for me as a sister. So that's about it. Just splitting my income between me, myself, and I. And then if there's anything left, I cover what I can and forget about them. And every opportunity I get to leave the house, I capitalize it. So that's how it has been so far. I hope to move out finally sometime next year. Or did I share that my sibling has once said that my enrolling in a master's, he didn't see the need. He didn't see the need for it. Why would I go for a graduate degree? So every time I get asked for money, I just tell them, see, I have a graduate degree to pay for. I have my own life, so I don't have nothing. I don't have anything to spare. And I think it's just something I want. I mean, people, we've heard of it said on the internet several times that I want more women to listen to this as first daughters. In your relationship with your family, especially if you have dynamics very similar to mine, behave as if you are an orphan. It will help lessen the regrets that you will have if in the long run you realize that these people you are no more than an ATM that they get to withdraw from without putting anything in the bank. So that's about it for me. This is my story, and thank you all for listening.
Thank you for listening to this episode of What is Your Story podcast. Every week, we share a new story from ordinary people across Africa. We release new episodes by 8 a.m. every Monday, and our podcast is available everywhere you get your podcasts. If you enjoy this episode, please leave a comment, like, or share the episode. Don't forget to follow us to stay up to date. Follow our social media. We are at whatisyourstory_podcast on Instagram and WIYS_podcast on Twitter. See you same time next week.